Nahamuami, which means comfort my people. That is my aim, to bring you comfort during these tumultuous days. Proverbs are pieces of wisdom that provides direction for your mind, revealing how you are to act and how an enemy of Scripture acts. With this knowledge, it becomes easier to perceive who is a Christian and who is the fake. I pray you have come with an open heart, an open mind, and two good ears for listening, because you are called to listen. Especially the men are called to listen. In Yeshua's precious name, Amen. Proverbs chapter 1, verse 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. Verse 2. To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding. It is good for you to consider what is written in Proverbs. These words will guide your mind towards the correct course of action in life and politics. Each verse working to reveal wisdom, guiding you in ethical situations and in religious affairs. These words chasten your mind. I pray you read to correct your sinful thoughts. I pray you achieve the understanding to utilize what is written to distinguish the difference between what is right and wrong, to escape the darkness of society. It is through the commands, promises, and sayings uttered through Scripture that this is achieved. Verse 3. To receive the instruction of wisdom, in justice, and judgment, and equity. I pray you are listening so you may seize the wisdom contained in Bible, laying hold of this chastening because your mind requires correction in thought, guiding how to interact with people in your life, your family, friends, neighbors, and government. We are all inundated with ethical and religious situations that can turn us away from our final destination, heaven. You will find your actions to be righteous. Learn to do what is morally right, not politically right. This is how you find justification in any controversy. There are ordinances to follow and spiritual litigation being prepared for your judgment. I pray you are working to become upright in all your doings, becoming straight and even when dealing with others. Verse 4. To give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. I pray you use Proverbs to gain the wisdom and discretion needed to help those who are naive to Scripture, much as I am trying to help you now. Young men need this knowledge. They need to understand the Bible with discernment. Verse 5. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto these wise counsels. Men who are skillful in wisdom will obey what is written. They will listen with interest, adding Scripture to their mind, learning righteous instruction. Only with understanding will a man acquire good counsel, helping him to walk the path to salvation. Verse 6. To understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. I pray you are working to understand these verses of ethical wisdom. Scripture is an enigma to the unlearned, which is why these obscure sayings need interpretation. The unwise are left with perplexing questions because of the need for study. Parables become as riddles, which is why I teach chapter by chapter and verse by verse, using the words by definition, not using self-interpretation as a liar does. Verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. I love this piece of Scripture. It is straight to the point. Men who become Christians convert for fear of losing their soul or out of the respect and reverence they feel towards their Creator. For Yahweh is the existing one, the only God who exists. This is the best and only way to start your walk towards the day of salvation. You begin with fear or respect, which, incidentally, is the only way to gain the skill of perception, to discern what is righteous. The unwise despise wisdom. They mock a Christian because they are guilty and have no remorse. Fools quarrel with a man who brings the full doctrine, hating both the moral and religious rules we are to follow. I pray that you continue to read and hear Scripture with understanding, to know simple rules like thou shalt not murder. It is not thou shalt not kill. There is a difference in definition. Scripture is quite definitive in this regards. Read Deuteronomy chapter 19, verses 11 to 13 for further proof. And learn we are not to pity a murderer. Liars have ruined the faith and put us in division, which is a sin that needs to be remedied. I thank you for your time. In Yeshua's precious name, Amen.